Good morning, pals. Welcome back to 100 Miles, 100 Days on a $100 Treadmill. I'm Tanya, and today we're going to walk a mile, condense it down to about 20 minutes for the video, and we're going to talk about Disneyland, and we're going to talk about some movies that I've watched recently that have to do with concept art, which is a big love of mine. And then we'll also look at those patches that I'm starting to make. So let's take a walk. Are you guys ready for the countdown? Come on, everybody, here we go. And let's ramp it up. I'm glad to have you back again today. I'm feeling a little bit better than I was yesterday, even though it's still raining. I'm at least a little bit over myself today. Sometimes you just gotta, you just gotta feel the feelings you're feeling and know that they're gonna be different tomorrow. And lo and behold, they are. I think I was just tired and hungry and mostly tired yesterday. So I try to be as positive as I can on a daily basis, but it gets the best of us. All right, guys. Well, as I teased in the beginning, what I want to start doing this week and next is start to go back in on, let me get my thing here. I want to start going back in and rewatching some of my old DVDs where I've got these, like the original classic versions. This is the Platinum edition of Snow White when that first came out. Because I've collected these movies over the years. And this one, it's a two-disc set. So it's got the movie, and then it's got a disc of extras as well, along with this really cool, like, booklet with all kinds of pullouts. And so it's just, I'll put some pictures of this so that you can see all of the extras that are here. One of the things that I really love about this particular DVD is on that second disc, it is all about the making of Snow White, and there are deleted songs and scenes. There's a rare behind the scenes footage and Disney Through the Decades timelines. There's also like these tours that they take you on through like the concept art. And I have had this love affair with concept art for as long as I can remember. I will, fall in love with an animated movie, and then to see what the artist's concepts of what the movie should look like before they chose the final form that it turns into is so fascinating to me. The way that so many artists will come together, and that they have like an art director that will say, yes, this part of that character, this part of this character, let's bring that all in and give it an overall look, which to me, it's a lot easier to see in the older movies like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, where the background art especially is very conceptual. So another movie that comes to mind really quickly is the Aristocats. All of the background art is like Paris watercolors. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Sleeping Beauty has a very distinctive look of really blocky color, bold color patterns. It's meant to look like a tapestry. And when I see these things like concept art, it can take me to a different place of like, what would that movie have been like, would have been like if they had gone with that concept. So a lot of times you'll see that the characters themselves, they all have a very kind of amalgamous Disney look. Like when a character is from Disney, you can tell they're from Disney. There's a specific look that they have, and that's curated. It's meant to be that way. But the background art and the concept art are things that where artists can really play with the overall feeling of a movie. You know, that we know that Aristocats is in Paris because we see the watercolors in the background. And we see the muted tones and the way that it looks like things are running in the rain. And also like a movie like Mulan, where even the characters start to look a very specific way. They look like old art that you would see on scrolls, like scrollwork art, where the horses have very thick bodies and their legs come down to very thin points. And maybe not something that you would necessarily look at and say, well, that's a weird way to draw a horse. But when you go back and really look at that horse was drawn with intention, and it's because of that kind of scroll work artistry that was coming out of China. And it's just so much of that stuff is just, God, I just love it. With Snow White, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewatch those extras. I'm going to set that up so that I don't know if there's a way that I can share the actual footage with you guys, or if I need to, I'll probably go back, try to find them on YouTube where they're already available somewhere so that I can bring you along on that journey of what that looks like. In the meantime, what I would encourage you to do is to go watch a movie on YouTube. I'm going to put the link in the description down below so that you can watch it. It's a short. It's called 4 Artists and Paint One Tree. And it's something that Walt Disney put together during the time that they were making Sleeping Beauty. So there's 4 artists that were working on Sleeping Beauty, and the thought behind this movie, I think it's about 14 or 16 minutes long. The concept behind this movie is just that, taking these 4 artists that have widely different backgrounds, taking them out to a big oak tree and saying, you have an hour, draw, paint, whatever, your version of this tree, so that you can see how these 4 different artists can look at the same tree and have 4 different conceptions of what that tree looks like, what's important about it, what story they're trying to tell. and to bring that back to how those artists worked together to bring a concept to the backgrounds and the character of Sleeping Beauty. And it's, I don't know how often or if this type of collaborative artistic style still exists in the way that Disneyland or the way that Disney works in making movies. I would I would be remiss if I said that anything that I've seen that they've put out recently suggests that. And again, when I say these kind of things, I say it with all due respect, with all love, because I have grown up on Disney. I am a super fan. But when, I'm also someone who is very passionate about the fact that animation is an art form. It is not just a way to convey a story and make a movie. It is an art form. There's so much that can go into the creation of animation, the love that goes into making something with your hands, the love that goes into something that is in your brain getting realized on paper. And when Disney takes something like what they have done a lot in the past 20 years, is take something that they've made beautifully as an art form in animation, and they've bastardized it into live action. It begins to lack heart. It's just a retelling of something that was already, what I think was already a perfect medium that doesn't need to be retold by live actors. It's not as interesting. It's not as exciting. There's nothing that stops me and makes me want to pause a video and look at exactly what an artist did in a single frame of a movie when I'm watching something that has been created with digital characters on top of live actors. It's not interesting. And this is coming from a girl who would I'm sorry, I got to keep laughing at myself because I can't believe I even still do this to this day. But when I was a kid and I had the Lion King DVD, and by kid, I mean, yes, I was a teenager, and I had it on VHS. So this is how crazy this is. I would pause and unpause it, trying to catch every single frame of that movie so that I could see how it was done, how it was put together. What was the difference between one still frame and the next still frame? It's really hard to do when you're watching a VHS. If it had been film, I would have probably been happy as a camper to be able to hold that up and look at each individual still frame. But because I wanted to know, I've watched those artists, how they draw and they flip back and they draw and they flip back, and they're looking at how something is animated as they're drawing it, and knowing that all those things exist, and there's the element of computers were coming in at that time, and enabling artists to do their work better. I don't have any problem with using a computer to make your work better. What I do have a problem with is using a computer to, or how should I say this? I don't have a problem with using tools to enhance your art form. What I do have a problem with is tools dictating the art form. Yeah, that is what it is, actually. So I tend to work with my hands a lot more than anything else. So what we're going to do is I'm going to task you guys with watching that movie. The link is going to be down below in the description. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. And on that note, let's see what this little artist's brain is seeing. And let's go work on those patches. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a little bit on the computer here how I do these characters. Okay, so I'm gonna use some of these characters here, and what I need to do is to draw around each one of these. So let's just start with Daisy because she's nice and centered there. And pick my drawing tool. And of course, Crookshanks has not been making any sound whatsoever until I start doing this. Hi, buddy. So this is how I make a usable template for these drawings. And I'm going to go to my node tool and I'm going to manipulate each one of these. And I do this in a super detailed manner. You can see that all of this is going to be very pixelated as I bring it up. And what I'm doing is actually turning an outline into a vectored image that I can use. And it'll be hard to see everything that I'm doing because I use a little bit of my keyboard as well as my tablet that you'll see on screen here. So I'm just trying to get a good outline. So this is just kind of an example of using a computer as your tool. It's taken me years to be able to use this program like an extension of my own hands. What I'm showing you here in just a couple of minutes would have taken me a day to put together, and I wouldn't have I wouldn't have understood why things were kind of working outside of my control. And the program that I'm working in is called Inkscape. All the computer programs that I work in for this vlog are all free open source programs that are super powerful little tools. The newest one that I'm using to record this screen, which is what the new thing that I'm doing today, which is why you're getting this bit of information, is called OBS. And I just wanted to be able to add, I don't know, a little more extra interesting stuff so that I can be able to show you all of my creative processes. And there it is, 1 mile. Woohoo! Good job, pals. All right, good job today, pals. Thanks again for coming along on another 100 miles, 100 days on a $100 treadmill. I'm Tanya. That's Crookshanks. These are my ears. And yeah, watch that movie from the link down below, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll see you then, pals. Bye. Well, we have to turn it on first, don't we? I swear I could have a 20-minute video of just me forgetting to turn on the treadmill. Feels like I don't have a good curl there, but I probably do.